argue with a narcissist, God says do this instead. Ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by saying this. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every storm deserves your attention. And not every voice in your life deserves a response. There's a wisdom that comes from above, a divine strategy that empowers you to stand firm without losing your peace. Some of us have faced the draining energy of arguing with people who refuse to see beyond their own ego. Maybe it's someone who thrives on conflict, someone who always has to be right, or someone who manipulates situations for their own gain. You know who I'm talking about. Narcissists feed on control, and they pull you into arguments not to resolve things, but to wear you down. But here's the truth. You're not obligated to give them that power. God has given us the ability to rise above the chaos, to discern when to speak and when to stay silent. He's told us to protect our peace, guard our hearts, and trust in His wisdom over our own pride. And today, I want to show you how to do just that. Here's the first thing I need you to hear loud and clear. You don't win by arguing. You win by elevating. You step out of their storm and into God's plan. You let Him fight battles you were never meant to fight in the first place. What's real? You can't control what a narcissist says or thinks, but you can control what you tolerate, how you respond, and where you place your energy. So today, I'm not asking you to argue, defend, or fight. I'm asking you to align with something greater. Your purpose, your peace, and your God-given identity. Guard your peace like gold. Let me tell you something. Peace is your most valuable asset. It's not something you stumble upon. It's something you protect. In this world, everyone's fighting to be heard, to prove a point, to stand on top of the noise. But what separates the empowered from the exhausted is their ability to hold on to peace in the middle of chaos. When someone comes at you, trying to provoke you, what they're really doing is trying to take your attention. Why? Because where your attention goes, your energy flows. If you let someone rob you of your peace, you're giving them the keys to your energy, your focus, your life. Don't do it. Think of your peace like a bank account. Every time you engage with someone who thrives on conflict, you're making a withdrawal. You're spending energy on something that won't give you any return. Instead, deposit that energy into your dreams, your growth. Guarding your peace doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're wise. It means you understand that not everything is worth your time. Some people thrive on stirring up drama, but you weren't made for drama. You were made for destiny. When you guard your peace, you're not avoiding conflict. You're choosing freedom. You're saying, I won't waste my energy proving myself to someone who doesn't even want to understand me. That's not avoidance. That's power. Have you ever noticed how much lighter you feel when you let go of the need to explain yourself? That's peace, and it's priceless. Don't let anyone drag you into their storm. Instead, invite them into your calm. Understand this, protecting your peace isn't about shutting people out. It's about prioritizing what matters. It's about asking yourself, will this conversation move me closer to my purpose, or will it drain me? That one question can save you hours, days, even years of unnecessary frustration. Guarding your peace also means knowing your triggers. What are the situations or people that tend to pull you off balance? Be honest with yourself and prepare for those moments. Walk in with a plan. Decide in advance that no matter what they say or do, your peace will remain intact. Sometimes guarding your peace means walking away, and that's okay. Walking away doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're strong enough to protect what's sacred to you. You're saying, my mental and emotional well-being is more important than this argument. And listen, walking away doesn't always mean physically leaving. It can mean disengaging mentally. You don't have to react to everything that's said to you. Silence is often the loudest response you can give. Here's the truth. People who thrive on conflict don't know what to do when you stay calm. They expect you to argue, to defend, to fight back. But when you refuse to play their game, you take away their power. Guarding your peace is an act of self-respect. It's you saying, I am worth more than this negativity. It's choosing to invest your energy in things that matter, your dreams, your goals, your faith, your love, your creativity. understanding, friendship, your community. And let's not forget, peace isn't just about you. When you guard your peace, you create a ripple effect. Your calmness becomes contagious. It changes the atmosphere in your home, your workplace, your relationships. You become a source of stability in an unstable world. So today, make the decision. No one gets to rob you of your peace. Not their words, not their opinions, not their manipulations. You're too valuable for that. Guard your peace like gold, because that's exactly what it is. Don't fight battles God didn't assign you. Have you ever stopped to think about how much energy you waste fighting battles that aren't even yours? Let me say this clearly. Not every battle is yours to fight. Some battles are distractions, and some battles are traps. If you try to fight them all, you'll wear yourself out before you ever reach your destiny. We've all been there. Someone pushes your buttons, challenges your character, or tries to provoke you. Your first instinct is to step into the ring, to defend yourself, to set the record straight. Let me ask you, what's the cost of that fight? Is it worth your peace, your focus, your time? Here's the truth. When you fight battles that God didn't assign you, you're stepping out of alignment with your purpose. You're putting your energy into something that doesn't serve you, something that doesn't grow you, and something that doesn't move you closer to the life you're meant to live. You don't have to show up to every argument you're invited to. Read that again. Just because someone challenges you doesn't mean you owe them a response. Silence is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's saying, I'm not going to let this pull me off track. God has a plan for you, but so does the enemy. And one of the enemy's greatest strategies is distraction. If he can't destroy you, he'll try to distract you. He'll send people into your life who thrive on drama and negativity. People who want to pull you into arguments that don't matter. When you feel the urge to fight, stop and ask yourself, did God call me to this, or am I just reacting to someone else's chaos? If the answer is no, then let it go. Trust that God will handle it. He sees what's happening, and he doesn't need your help to bring justice. Here's the thing, you can't win every battle, and you're not supposed to. Some fights are meant for God. When you try to fight them yourself, you're carrying a weight you were never designed to bear. Let it go. Let him fight for you. The Bible says the Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. That doesn't mean you're passive. It means you're strategic. It means you trust that God knows what he's doing, even when you don't see it. When you step out of the way and let God handle it, something amazing happens. You find peace. You find clarity. You find the strength to focus on what really matters. You stop wasting energy on people and situations that don't deserve it. And let me tell you something else. When you let God fight your battles, he does it better than you ever could. He doesn't just win. He restores, redeems, and brings justice in ways you could never imagine. The fight isn't always about proving yourself right. Sometimes the real fight is staying focused on your purpose. The enemy wants you distracted, but God wants you determined. He wants you to keep your eyes on the prize, not the problem. Walking away from a fight doesn't mean you've lost. It means you've won something far greater. Your peace, your focus, your freedom. It means you've chosen to rise above the noise and step into the higher calling God has for you. So today I challenge you to ask yourself, what battles am I fighting that God didn't assign me? And when you identify them, let them go. Trust that God has it under control. He's never lost a battle, and he's not about to start now. Your job is to stay in alignment with him. Stay focused on your purpose. Stay grounded in your faith. Let God handle the rest. Choose response over reaction. Let me ask you a question. How many times have you regretted reacting too quickly? How often do you look back and think, I wish I had handled that differently? Here's the truth. Reactions are emotional, but responses are intentional. And the ability to choose your response is one of the most powerful tools you'll ever have. When someone pushes your buttons, it's natural to feel that surge of emotion, frustration, anger, even indignation. But here's the thing, that initial feeling doesn't have to control you. You are not a puppet to someone else's words or actions. You have the power to pause, reflect, and choose a response that aligns with your values, not your emotions. Think about this. Every time you react impulsively, you're giving someone else control over you. They say something and you respond without thinking. They do something and you immediately retaliate. In that moment, you're letting them dictate your behavior. But what if you flip the script? What if instead of reacting, you paused, Just a moment to breathe, to gather your thoughts, to decide how you want to show up in that situation. That pause, that tiny gap is where your power lies. It's where you take back control. Here's the reality. When you react, you often make things worse. You escalate the conflict, you say things you don't mean, and you end up feeling worse afterward. But when you respond, you diffuse the tension, you bring clarity to the chaos, you take the higher road, and that's where your strength shines. Choosing to respond instead of react doesn't mean you ignore your emotions. It means you acknowledge them, but you don't let them drive the car. You say, I see you, anger. I hear you, frustration. But you don't get to decide how I'm going to act today. Here's a practical tip. The next time you feel yourself getting triggered, count to 10. Seriously. It sounds simple, but it works. Those 10 seconds give you time to calm your nervous system, to breathe, to remind yourself of what really matters. And in those 10 seconds, ask yourself, what outcome do I want from this situation? Do you want resolution, or do you just want to win? Do you want peace, or do you want to prove a point? When you get clear on your goal, your response becomes clear too. Let me tell you something else. Your response isn't just about you. It's about the example you're setting for others. When you choose to stay calm, to respond with grace instead of anger, you're modeling emotional intelligence. You're showing others what it looks like to rise above the noise. And guess what? Your calmness disarms people. It throws them off. They expect you to react, to fight back, to match their energy. But when you respond calmly, it changes the entire dynamic. It puts you in control of the situation. Now, I'm not saying this is easy. It takes practice. It takes discipline. But the more you do it, the better you get. And the better you get, the more peace you'll have in your life. Choosing your response is a form of self-respect. It's saying, I value myself too much to let someone else dictate my emotions. It's a commitment to staying true to who you are, no matter what's happening around you. So today I challenge you, start responding instead of reacting. Pause before you speak. Think before you act. And always, always ask yourself, does this response align with the person I want to be? Because at the end of the day, your response is a reflection of your character, and you're in control of that. Set boundaries without apology. Let me say this loud and clear. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are gates to protect what matters most. And guess what? You don't owe anyone an apology for having them. Boundaries are not selfish. They're necessary for survival, for growth, and for living the life you were meant to live. Now, I know some of you struggle with this. You feel guilty. When you say no, you feel like you're letting people down, like you're being rude or unkind. But here's the truth. Saying yes to everything and everyone is the fastest way to burn out. It's not love, it's not kindness, and it's not sustainable. Boundaries are about honoring your energy, your time, and your mental and emotional health. They're about recognizing that you cannot pour from an empty cup. And let me tell you something. When you don't set boundaries, you're not just hurting yourself, you're hurting the people around you because you're not showing up as the best version of yourself. You teach people how to treat you by the boundaries you set. If you allow someone to disrespect your time, your values, or your peace, guess what? They'll keep doing it. But when you draw a line and say, this is what I will and will not accept, you're teaching them that your time and energy are valuable. And listen, boundaries aren't about controlling other people. They're about controlling what you allow in your life. You can't change someone else's behavior, but you can decide what you will and won't tolerate. That's where your power lies. Here's the thing, when you set boundaries, not everyone is going to like it. Some people will push back. Some will try to guilt you into changing your mind. Why? Because they benefited from you not having boundaries in the first place. But hear me when I say this, their discomfort is not your problem. Your peace is worth far more than their approval. Setting boundaries doesn't mean you don't care. It doesn't mean you're cutting people off. It means you care enough to protect the relationship by ensuring it's healthy. It means you're choosing quality over quantity. Let me ask you this, do you want to be loved for who you truly are or for what you allow people to take from you? When you set boundaries, you're giving people the chance to love and respect the real you, not the version of you that's constantly depleted and overextended. Here's a practical step. Get clear on what your boundaries are. Write them down. What are your non-negotiables? What drains you and what fuels you? Knowing your boundaries is the first step to enforcing them. Next, communicate your boundaries clearly and confidently. You don't need to explain yourself. No is a complete sentence. If someone asks for more, you can simply say, "This is what I need to stay healthy and balanced." That's it. You owe no further explanation. And let me tell you this, enforcing boundaries gets easier with practice. The first time you say no, it might feel uncomfortable. But the more you do it, the more empowered you'll feel. You'll start to realize that protecting your peace is far more rewarding than trying to please everyone. When you set boundaries, you're not just protecting yourself, you're creating space for the right people to come into your life. The people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries. The ones who don't, they were never meant to be in your life for the long haul. Boundaries are a form of self-love. They're you saying, "I am worthy of time, rest, and respect." They're a declaration that your needs matter just as much as anyone else's. And when you honor yourself in this way, you'll find that life becomes lighter, more peaceful, and more aligned. So today, stop apologizing for your boundaries. Stop explaining them. Stop feeling guilty for protecting your time, energy, and peace. You are worth it, and the life you're building depends on it. Set your boundaries and stand by them. Focus on your purpose, not their opinions. Let me ask you something. How much time have you wasted worrying about what other people think of you? How many dreams have you delayed or dismissed because you were too afraid of their judgment? Listen carefully. Their opinions don't define your purpose. Their criticism doesn't cancel your calling. When you focus on what people think, you lose sight of what matters most. You weren't put on this earth to win everyone's approval. You were put here to fulfill a purpose that's unique to you, one that no one else can accomplish. The opinions of others are like shadows, always shifting, never solid. You can't build a life based on something that changes with the wind. Instead, you need to anchor yourself to something unshakable, your purpose. That's your true north. That's your compass. Here's the truth. People will always have something to say. If you succeed, they'll criticize you. If you fail, they'll criticize you. If you stay the same, guess what? They'll still criticize you. So why waste your energy trying to please them? When you focus on your purpose, their opinions lose their power. You stop needing their validation because you're so locked in on what you're here to do. Your purpose becomes your fuel, your filter, your guide. It keeps you grounded when the world tries to pull you in every direction. And let me tell you something else. Most of the people who criticize you aren't doing it because there's something wrong with you. They're doing it because there's something unresolved in them. Your courage reminds them of their fear. Your ambition reminds them of their complacency. Don't let their insecurities become your limitations. Focus on your purpose and you'll find freedom. Freedom from comparison, from judgment, from the need to explain yourself. You'll realize that not everyone will understand your journey, and that's okay. They weren't meant to. Your purpose isn't a group project. It's between you and God. Here's a practical step. Every time you catch yourself worrying about someone's opinion, pause and ask yourself, does this person pay my bills? Do they live my life? Will their opinion matter 5 years from now? If the answer is no, let it go. And listen, focusing on your purpose doesn't mean you ignore constructive feedback. It means you learn to discern the difference between criticism that helps you grow and criticism that holds you back. Take the good, leave the rest, and keep moving forward. When you focus on your purpose, you develop tunnel vision, not the kind that blinds you, but the kind that shields you. It keeps you locked in on your goals, immune to the noise, and unstoppable in your pursuit of what matters most. Let me give you an example. Have you ever watched a racehorse? They wear blinders for a reason. It's not because they're weak, it's because they're focused. They don't look to the left or the right. They don't worry about the other horses. They run their race. That's what you need to do. Your purpose is too big to be distracted by small minds. It's too important to be derailed by petty opinions. When you focus on your purpose, you stop living for applause and start living for impact. You stop chasing likes and start chasing legacy. Now let me tell you this. When you focus on your purpose, the right people will come into your life. The ones who believe in you, support you, and align with your vision. You won't have to beg for their approval because they'll see your value without you saying a word. So today, make a decision. Stop letting their opinions hold you back. Stop giving their words more weight than they deserve. Focus on your purpose. Focus on what you're here to do. Because at the end of the day, their opinions won't matter, but your purpose will. Protect your peace like it's sacred. Let me tell you something. Your peace is priceless. It's your anchor, your refuge, your foundation. Without it, you can't think clearly, love fully, or live freely. Yet so many of us give it away too easily, to arguments, to drama, to people who thrive on chaos. It's time to stop. It's time to protect your peace like it's sacred. Here's the reality. Not everyone deserves access to your energy. Some people are like storms. They come into your life, disrupt everything, and leave you drained. You can't control the storms, but you can control whether or not you step into them. Protecting your peace starts with deciding who and what gets your attention. Let me ask you, how often do you find yourself engaging in battles that don't matter? How many times have you sacrificed your peace for the sake of winning an argument or proving a point? Here's the hard truth. Peace is more powerful than being right. Letting go isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Protecting your peace doesn't mean avoiding conflict at all costs. It means choosing your battles wisely. Not every fight is worth your time. Not every opinion deserves your response. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is walk away and let silence speak for you. And let me be clear, protecting your peace is not selfish. It's self-preservation. It's understanding that you can't pour into others when you're running on empty. It's recognizing that your well-being isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. So how do you protect your peace? Start by setting boundaries. Decide what you will and won't tolerate. Be clear, be firm, and don't apologize for it. Your peace is your responsibility and no one else will guard it for you. Next, choose your environment carefully. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, inspire you, and bring out the best in you. Distance yourself from those who drain you, criticize you, or stir up negativity. You don't owe anyone a seat at your table if they don't bring peace to the feast. Here's another thing. Stop engaging in toxic conversations, whether it's gossip, criticism, or endless complaining. Those conversations steal your peace and add nothing of value to your life. Learn to say, I'm not going there, and walk away. And let me tell you this, your peace is also about what you allow into your mind. Be mindful of what you consume, social media, news, entertainment. Ask yourself, is this feeding my peace or robbing it? If it's the latter, it's time to detox. When you protect your peace, you create space for clarity. You're able to hear God's voice more clearly, to discern his direction for your life. Noise drowns out wisdom, but peace amplifies it. Protecting your peace also means forgiving, not for their sake, but for yours. Carrying grudges is like holding on to poison. It hurts you more than anyone else. Forgive, let go, and set yourself free. Now, this doesn't mean life will always be calm. There will still be storms, challenges, and disruptions. But when you've cultivated a foundation of peace, you can weather any storm without losing your center. Think of your peace as a garden. It requires care, attention, and protection. You have to pull out the weeds, negative thoughts, toxic people, unnecessary drama. You have to water it with gratitude, prayer, and self-care. And you have to shield it from anything that threatens to destroy it. When you make your peace a priority, your whole life changes. You're less reactive, more grounded, and more in tune with your purpose. You're able to show up fully for the people and things that truly matter. So today, make a commitment to protect your peace. Guard it fiercely, value it deeply, treat it as the sacred gift it is. Because when you protect your peace, you protect your power. And that, my friend, is unstoppable. Elevate, don't engage. Let me remind you of something powerful. You are not made to roll around in the mud with people who thrive on chaos. You are made to rise above, to elevate, to soar. So when someone tries to drag you into an argument, into negativity, into a battle you never signed up for, you have one choice. Elevate, don't engage. Here's the truth. Engaging with someone who only wants to bring you down is like wrestling with a pig. You both get dirty, but the pig enjoys it. Some people thrive on drama, manipulation, and conflict. It fuels them. But you have bigger things to focus on. You have a higher calling. Elevating doesn't mean ignoring the problem or pretending it doesn't exist. It means choosing a higher path. It means refusing to stoop to their level of negativity and choosing instead to rise above with grace, clarity, and purpose. When you elevate, you take back your power. You don't let someone else dictate your energy or emotions. They want you to fight, to react, to stoop down to their level. But when you refuse to engage, you're saying, I'm not playing this game. My energy is too valuable to waste on this. And let me tell you, elevation is not weakness, it's strength. It takes courage to rise above, to walk away, to focus on your purpose instead of their provocation. Anyone can argue, but it takes a person of strength and wisdom to choose peace instead. Think about it. Every moment you spend engaging in negativity is a moment you could have spent building something meaningful. Every ounce of energy wasted on an argument is energy that could have gone into your growth, your goals, your relationships. Here's how you elevate. Start by pausing. When someone tries to provoke you, take a moment to breathe, to center yourself, to remember your purpose. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Is this going to move me forward, or is it just going to drain me? 9 times out of 10, the answer will be clear. Next, choose your words wisely. You don't have to respond to everything. Silence is a response, and often it's the most powerful one. When you don't give someone the reaction they're looking for, you take away their power. And here's a big one. Shift your focus. Instead of dwelling on the negativity, put your energy into something constructive. Work on your goals. Spend time with people who uplift you. Do something that brings you joy. Every time you choose elevation over engagement, you're reinforcing your focus on what truly matters. Elevation also means practicing empathy. Sometimes people act out because they're hurting. While this doesn't excuse their behavior, it helps you understand that their actions are a reflection of them, not you. When you can see them through the lens of compassion, it becomes easier to let go of the need to retaliate. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone hurling insults at you. Instead of firing back, you take a deep breath and calmly say, I hear you, but I won't engage in this conversation. Just like that, you've disarmed them. You've taken control of the situation without lowering yourself to their level.